All right, let's take a look at some news of the day kind of stuff. We're at that point of the year where even the stuff that doesn't seem all that big of a deal, it could be later. Bill Peters, coach of the Calgary Flames, has come out and talked about the refereeing, the officiating last night. Not happy. That can lead to a fine for the team, for the coach, for the GM, for everybody in the organization. But what he's talking about is standard, which is that your penalty in the first period is not your penalty in the third period. We're getting close to playoff time, so this is when penalties don't count anymore, and I get more and more frustrated with it. I've talked about it before that the NHL consistency in officiating I think is important, and what's a penalty in October should be a penalty in March, should be a penalty in June. And I've never understood the relaxing of the rules, because here's the thing: if you're a person that believes that relaxing the rules makes for better hockey, then just relax them the whole year long. Why bother calling them penalties in October? Why call it a penalty in the first and then in the third you say, nah, forget it. Just do it right from the beginning of the game. Go over to the coaches and just say, hey, tonight we're gonna call this one pretty much street rules. So as long as you guys aren't drawing blood and crap, we don't care. We're just gonna let them go out there and decide the game. I think where it gets frustrating for coaches when the calls are inconsistent, and that's what Bill Peters is talking about here. Johansson suffered a lung contusion in the last game there, and that hit with Ferland. He'll be reevaluated in a week. I just think of him as done. If a player is acquired by a team I cheer for at the deadline, apparently it means they're going to get injured and badly. First Zuccarello and now Johansson. So both of them European players. So I don't know. We'll see if there's a line there. We'll circle back on this next year at the trade deadline and see what happens. Freddie Anderson has started 49 games so far this year. The plan is that he starts 56 overall. That's the cap. That came out from Mike Babcock. The plan was to get him 56 starts this year, not more than that. You don't want to overwork your starter. They have 15 games left. That means 7 starts would belong to Anderson, and 8 of them would belong to Sparks. So we'll see how that works out. They just gave Sparks an extension. Maybe that's because they know they're going to be playing him a bunch, and they want him to play well in those games and not have to worry about his contract after this year. Robin Leonard, upper body injury day to day, so Chris Gibson's been called up to be the backup for Grice tonight. Clutterbuck's still out, so we'll see how that affects things for the Islanders. Gibson, of course, has been decent at the NHL level at times when called up. We'll see how it works out from this year if he gets into any games at all. I doubt it. From what they're saying about Leonard, it doesn't sound like it's a big deal. It sounds like it's only going to keep him out for a game or two, so we'll see. There's more talk now about Binnington for the Calder, and I want to weigh in on it for this reason. Binnington's playing well. He's got 16 wins now, and yes, Calder discussions of him or Rasmus Dahlin are not outside of the realm of possibility. The other side of it is this. Pettersson, at the start of the year, 10 goals in his first 10 games. He was running away with it. He has been much, much more challenged to score over the last couple of months than he was early on in the season. For the reason that I believe he has kind of fallen back, it gives Binnington that much more of a chance. Jordan Binnington still needs to get into more games. I would think he's got to play 35 games. I would think it has to be if he's going to get into it. But it'll be interesting to see what happens because he's been good. He's got 16 wins, and that's not nothing. So is he in the race? I think it's become a race because I think that Canucks rookie there, who's played pretty well this year, has fallen back to the rest. Speaking of Canucks, Edler and his agent working on an extension with the Canucks. There may very well be a holdup, and it's Seattle's fault. Darn you, Seattle, you guys don't even exist yet, and you're already causing problems for the Canucks. This is the whole start of the grudge match between Vancouver and Seattle. All kidding aside, it's a no-movement clause. Edler and his agent very likely looking at a no-movement clause. No-movement clauses have to be protected. At the time that Seattle comes in, Edler will be 35 years of age. The Canucks are not going to want to have to protect Alex Edler with a no-movement clause at 35 years of age and potentially expose one of their better younger defensemen. You don't want to lose Stetcher. With the way Stetcher's played this year, and he's younger, you don't want to be losing Stetcher and keep Edler at that stage. Delia's up. Cam Ward's out with a knee injury. They're saying it's not a big deal as well. So Delia's up on an emergency basis. It'll be interesting to see if they give him a start. Odds are it's probably going to be Crawford, but we'll see if they give Delia a start while he's out. Grabner's returning tonight from that eye injury, so that scary eye injury he had earlier in the year. He's back. We'll see if that helps to spark the Arizona Coyotes against Calgary. And last on the injury front, Mike Green's out for the rest of the season with a virus, so he's done. And Larkin is out tonight with a back injury. And all I can think of with that is just remarks I could make about how he's been carrying the team on his back this year, and that would make a guy's back give out. But I'm not going to say it. So there you go. That's your news of the day. Not anything really major, but we'll keep an eye on the officiating question because I don't think Peters is talking out of turn here. This is that time of year. It's March. Referees kind of get told to put the whistle away after the first period, whether they get told by the league or whether it's just referees all decide they're going to do that because the games are more important. But it does lead to a situation where maybe a guy gets a penalty in the first period, the exact same play happens in the third, and nothing happens. And it sends a message to players that they don't know what a penalty is, they don't know what a penalty isn't, and it leads to a lot of confusion where there shouldn't be any. There you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And for anybody who's going to ask, I don't think a Johnny Canuck jersey would work for the Canucks. I think it's a little bit cartoony, but a green jersey for the Vancouver Canucks I would be completely firmly in favor of. And I would hope that the rumors of them having a third jersey this year as well as their 50th anniversary throwback to the skate jersey, so they'll have two alternate jerseys next year. I would hope that would be a nice green jersey with the orca on the front, or maybe this I wouldn't mind, or maybe the stylized stick and ring. We'll see what they do. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll talk to you again soon.